Well, hello my friends. Here I am. Just got back from Miami and wanted to share some great news with you guys. I gotta say, this Woodturners community has to be the greatest on earth. I mean, coming home and receiving gifts from overseas, from UK, is just beyond me. I am amazed and thrilled. A good friend of mine's, Wagger Potter, has already sent me some gifts in the past, which I've shown. And one of them was the official Rebel, the Rebel, with my initials AF over here. And I have not done anything with this. I know what it's for. It's for a tool holder of some sort on a handle. But I really haven't figured out exactly how I would want to use it. But along with this, he sent me a few cutters. And I have to locate them in my shop. I know that I got them, but things sometimes are not organized as they should be. But anyway, here's one of them. He sent me a couple of teardrop cutters. Two like this and two rectangulars out of high-speed steel for me to use on my hollowing arm or my roughing ouch. So, again, I was attempting to use it one time, and the screw holes that I have on my hollowing arm are bigger than this hole that's drilled here. I tried drilling this darn thing and could not drill it for the life of me. He did tell me how to drill it, but my wife notified me a couple of days ago and sent me a picture via text that I had received a package from Wagger Potter again. And this time, what he did is he sent me a rod with, looks like a 14mm round cutter, pre-mounted, and it's set different from mine, so I have to see how this works. Mine's I have them flat, and he intentionally set his on a down angle, which I'm assuming has a good reason for it. I'm sure that it does. And he sent me a secondary rod, pre-cut, with the set screw for me to put my cutter inside here. He's warning me that this thing is aggressive and it's going to get my hollowing done in no time. So what an amazing gift to receive something like this. On this one, because I want to try this on my hollowing arm with this bit. I'm going to heat this one up back here and make the gooseneck for it and see how it works. So I'm anxious to give this a test. This one I know what it's going to do, and I'll probably end up doing the same thing with the gooseneck, because this will be an insert for my hollowing arm. So basically it's just to replace this one that I had made up, which also works pretty well, but that's not done nearly as well as what he did. So I have the gooseneck, it's mounted in here. The shaft looks like he gave me the exact same size shaft, so I will be duplicating that in here. No cutting, just making my bend, heating it up at different points, and get my bends and I'll be able to mount this one in there, and when I want to change over to this one, I'll be able to do the same. Because I do a lot of hollow vessels, which are small mouth and wide body, I need the gooseneck. Or I would need some sort of a swivel that would offset that even further. So I think I will do one, see how it works out, because I don't know what type of steel this is. You can tell me on the comments, Wagger. So I will do to one, see how it goes, mount it, and give it a test for the next turning. But seeing that I just got home, I really am not ready with this. Now my friend Tom Kuzia, who did a hands-on lesson with me over here, both him and his wife passed by and spent some time with us, and I gave Tom a one-on-one lesson and gave him a couple of turnings. He insisted that to pay for the gratitude, which he already did. He gave me some wood, and he insists on doing other stuff. Also gave me the plaque at the time that he came over of the Rebel Turner, which I have shown right here, which was just amazing. I did not expect that. And he decided when he got back home up north that he wanted to make something for gratitude for my wife, which he did an amazing job. He made this vase out of metal with a rose. Amazing workmanship. He says he doesn't have an artistic bone in his body. I beg to differ. This took some skill, some eye. So Tom, you have the artistic eye. We all have strengths in different areas, but when it comes to metal work, at least metal work, you know your stuff. But anyway, he decided that he wanted to send something else, and he told me it was a surprise. He was not going to tell me what it was, and he sent me this. And when I first got it, I must say, I didn't know what it was. You know, T-U-I-T or T-I-U-T. It reads the same way, both ways. Looked it up. Round to it. Brilliant, Tom. Thank you very much. Anyway, when I was here the last time, so this is not even going to be a turning video. It's just a thank you video. But I want to show you what I put on the lathe that I did not do anything with. And tomorrow I'm going to show you what I'm going to put on the lathe and turn it, which will be a surprise. And you will like it for sure. I know that there's something in it, and I can't wait to get started on it. And maybe I'll already use the new stuff. But tomorrow morning I'm going boating for a little bit. So since I only have the rest of today, which today is Saturday, at home, tomorrow morning we're going to go boating, and then after boating I'll probably come in here and do a little bit of turning, which won't be posted right away because I have to edit it, and I'll edit that from the job site. But anyway, it's a nice and realistic memento. I'll get to it. But anyway, I was over here last week and I did not record any of this because I do enough recordings. But you know, every time I start something, especially if it's something different, I always think that I should record it for the sake of it. But that was not the case here. I put a piece of that pine that I just did that four corner bunk bowl. This is a piece of that bunk. Well, I tell you, I really should listen to my instincts and record it, because I think this one would have been worthy of a recording. Let me get the back camera on here. Well, anyway, I cut it on the bandsaw fairly square, and about 10 inches in length, I think. And I decided to keep it square on this area, the base, and hollowed it out from inside until it started cutting through these openings. So here's another piece of bunk, and this would make a nice decorative boat light, and how appropriate coming from a bunk thing. So you know, this will be to hold the tea light in here, and the glow will come out on 4 sides. But you can see again, you know, the amazing wood grain. It had some checking going through it, which was already inherited on the wood. So I put CA on the checks here, and a little bit at this top part. And this opposite side had one as well going through, which is close at the pit. The pit was running right through here, actually. So here you see that another fine example, well, at least I think it's a fine example of a piece made out of pine. Well, I think I'm ready to go in here and get this off the lathe so I can get started on the next one. Basically, use my parting tool and just go in here and pat it out with a slight concave. Start it off square and then concave it in to finalize the cut. Now, a parting tool, when you're cutting square like this, will chip away, as you see here. The solution to that is going with your gouge, with your bowl gouge, and come in into a push cut, and you'll see the difference that makes. On the wrong side of the lathe, but this is working left-handed. Once you get into the round part, but you can see that I have a little bit, but not much at all on the flap overs. So this is perfectly acceptable. This was from the parting tool. So I can go in here now and finish this off with a parting tool. What can I say? It's always doing something, not necessarily recording, and not always is it a success, but always fun doing it. And if I happen to capture it when I'm doing it, even the better. I realize that sometimes I come in here and I'm not as talkative as I am in others. So a lot of my videos, there's an inconsistency on how much information I'm offering, or me just concentrating on turning. And to tell you the truth, I shouldn't say that, but I like the ones that I offer more information than the ones that I'm just showing the turning. Because to me, the ones that I'm just showing the turning, I feel that I'm just kind of bragging or showing off rather than showing you what you're capable of doing. The circumstances will always be different. I mean, because I do something, it does not mean you're going to go to your lathe and you're going to duplicate it and do the same thing. Most of the time the wood is unique in itself, so therefore that one piece can only be made that once because of its characteristics. But on cases like this, where you end up with something that's square, you can come up with something very close to this, whatever type of wood you have, because it's not wood characteristics that's going to give you the design. It's what you got here. And this one, I mean, I got my steady rest in the front while I was hollowing this out. It's a lot of digging, and pretty much I did the whole job with my hollowing tool going in there, my hollowing arm going in there, and while spinning, just barely grazing this, and did it all the way down with this tool. You know, I think that I'm going to offer, for those of you who are interested, those of you who don't necessarily want to make a hollowing tool, but would like to have one at a reasonable price, I think I'm going to make one up, or make some up, and package them and offer them on my website. To make it yourself, I have the video on how I did this one with most of the details, and if you have any questions on any part of it that you would like better information on, send me an email and I will gladly clarify that. I've had my good friend Bran question me on how I did the laser and so on and so forth, and it's a pleasure to give further information on anybody that needs it, that will assist on getting to where they need to go. So that's going to do it. Butter it off with my saw and sand the rest of it. Sand it out. Well, the focus of this video is definitely not the making of this piece, but I decided to show a little bit of the finishing, at least on the sanding, the parting off, and basically the finish I applied, which was spray lacquer. You can't buff this unless you had a buffing system and you could go in there with a buffing wheel and manually do it that way. But for what it is, I just wanted to do something that was slightly different. It's a vase. Could put a glass insert in here with water and actually have a live flower in there, and it would be interesting enough in its own. In this orientation, it really gives you a nice look with this see-through coming through on both of these angles. But of course, it doesn't matter how you put it up, it will look fine. And the inside cuts, considering for this type of a turning, are not bad at all. Don't have much on the ridges. I did take some time in there and hand sand it, because even though I use that wand with the disc, but it really doesn't do that well once you get to these openings, because all you get is a flap in there. So a lot of hand sanding on it. The bottom, just cut off the little nub there, sanded it down, and then threw it up on my disc sander from all four directions, making it perfectly flat on just the outside corners. The inside is concave from here on over. Not that this is going to go anywhere. This is not going to warp. It's not going to shrink. This is aged wood. Well, wood is wood. There's always some movement in wood. You can't control that. But it won't change its shape. Let's put it this way. But it's another Furtado. What should I say? It's another rebel piece. Well, thanks for watching on this one. Let's follow up with the new cutter and new gooseneck on the hollowing arm, and a completely different piece that I have in store for you. So stay tuned and watch this one. Thanks again. So anyway, that's today's video. Was showing the gifts, showing what I turned last week, which I did not videotape. Sorry. And discuss what's coming up this weekend. Take care. We'll see you again very soon.